He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea was in their arsenal. And I just want to put on the record statements that the mayor made publicly about my client. Nothing saying alleged, for example.
This act of terrorism and the violence that stems from it is something that would not be tolerated in the city.
Frankly, Your Honor, the mayor should know more than anyone of the presumption of innocence that he too is afforded when he dealing with his own issues. And frankly, I submit that he was just trying to detract from those issues by making a spectacle of Mr. Mangione.
Luigi Mangione pleaded not guilty today in court in New York, and his attorney called out New York City Mayor Adams for the ridiculous and over-the-top perp walk that they did with Mangione as they brought him in from Pennsylvania to be charged in New York. It was a huge photo op, and his attorney did not like it. But Mayor Adams says he has his reason for this huge photo op. It's SeanDaniel here. Thank you to all of you who are subscribed. I'm almost at 200,000 subscribers. If you guys want to support me even more, you can join my YouTube membership for just a few dollars a month. Now let's go.
The second thing I want to make a record of, Your Honor, is I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he is entitled to a presumption of innocence. But unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. And as you know, Your Honor, there's a wealth of case law guaranteeing his right to a fair trial, but none of the safeguards have been put in place yet here. In fact, it's just the opposite of what's been happening. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle. He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement. He had been in custody for over a week. He waived extradition. He was cooperative at all accounts. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea was in their arsenal. And to have all of the press there, the media there, it was like perfectly choreographed. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference, Your Honor? That just made it utterly political. And as Your Honor knows, under Lauro v. Charles, the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit has held it to be clearly established that these staged perp walks to the media, unrelated to a legitimate law enforcement objective, is unconstitutional. And I submit there was zero law enforcement objective to do that sort of perp walk. There's absolutely no need for that whatsoever. And frankly, Your Honor, the mayor should know more than anyone of the presumption of innocence that he too is afforded when he dealing with his own issues. And frankly, I submit that he was just trying to detract from those issues by making a spectacle of Mr. Mangione. And there are consequences to this. He has a right to a fair trial. And I just want to put on the record statements that the mayor made publicly about my client. Nothing saying alleged, for example. And he said, I wanted to send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I wanted to look him in the eye and state, you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city of New York that I love. And he wanted to show symbolism. Your Honor, he's not a symbol. He's somebody who is afforded the right to a fair trial. He's innocent until proven guilty. And the mayor was talking to jurors, future potential jurors that elected him. Those are the people that elected him that he is talking to and calling this man a terrorist. So, Your Honor, I just want to make a record of this and put everyone on notice that this has to stop. And my client is entitled to a fair trial and the presumption of innocence. And we're going to fight these charges, whether it's in the state or federal, to the fullest extent. Thank you, Your Honor.
What did Mayor Adams have to say about why he did this spectacle of a perp walk, and what do other people say about it?
It was a scene seemingly out of a movie. Luigi Mangione, the 26-year-old man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, brought to New York to face charges for the early morning murder.
Welcome back to New York.
This act of terrorism and the violence that stems from it is something that would not be tolerated in the city.
Arriving in New York City shackled, a slow and very deliberate perp walk for the entire world to see, roughly 5 miles from the infamous crime scene.
This show of force seemed to almost be performative in some ways, maybe to show people how serious this case was, and also the fear that I think a lot of law enforcement has that others may take up the mantle of Luigi Mangione to do similar acts.
In an unusual display, New York City Mayor Eric Adams and multiple high-ranking city officials gathered for the suspect's arrival.
We wanted to personally be here to show the symbolism of leading from the front. The apprehension, some of these detectives will finally sleep tonight.
So the attorney was correct. He did not say alleged, which all the other news publications are saying alleged, probably because you legally have to. But she wants to talk about this spectacle that went on with this perp walk. Well, she made her own spectacle by dressing the exact same way as Luigi Mangione. Maybe that's to show unity, who knows. The other thing she brought up was Eric Adams' case where he has been indicted by the federal government. New York City Mayor Eric Adams charged with bribery and campaign finance offenses. He is innocent until proven guilty, just like she is saying her client Luigi Mangione is. Yes, that's correct. But what people don't seem to ask is, oh my God, Eric Adams, he got in trouble for bribing. It's so wrong. The federal government went after him. You're telling me all other big city mayors, like the Chicago mayor, LA mayor, you're telling me they don't do corrupt deals with the sanctuary city policies they allow? So I'm sure they all do. But why would they go after Mayor Eric Adams? What did he do? What did he not want to take orders on? What did he not want to institute that the deep state wanted him to institute? Why are they only going after him? Here's more on what he had to say about Luigi Mangione.
I was at a conference a few days ago with the top CEOs, IBM, Deloitte. It was a room full of CEOs and governmental officials. And the shooting, the intentional shooting, and the response after really traumatized the entire industry. Not only the CEOs, but the employees. People forget that. And I wanted to send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I wanted to look him in the eye and stated that you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city that the people of New York love, and I wanted to be there to show the symbolism of that.
Again, he did not say alleged, which I believe he has to do, because like she said, he's influencing people who elected him, and the people who elected him can be selected as jurors for this case. Now, it is also interesting to notice how big of a deal this perp walk was, which a perp walk is when the police take people to be booked, be arraigned, move them from station to station. Look at how big of a spectacle this was. He's behind there, Mayor Adams. There's people with guns and everything. But the guy who got arrested for burning the woman alive on the New York subway from a few days ago, he just had this mini perp walk. So it's a big spectacle that they did, but they're not doing it for this migrant that allegedly, just like Luigi Mangione allegedly, burned a woman alive on the subway. Why is that? Maybe they don't want to draw attention to the migrant situation in New York, or maybe they really do want to detract from Mayor Adams' case, and they also maybe want to show a sign of force like Mayor Adams said. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think they're really trying to politicize this to get as much attention on it as possible. There's probably also a battle going on between the federal government and New York City government as who gets to the rights and jurisdictions to book him, arraign him, and find him guilty or not guilty. It's SeanDaniel here. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing or watching another one right here. I'll see you in the next one.